need a doctor, Lord, I am so confused. With all this ringing, 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 I don't like bad news. I need a doctor, I'm feeling the blues. With all the water in K and they still looking for Drew. D-E-W True. Big Lois, is your water running well? I hear the airport flooding out soon as a little rain falls. Taxpayers' money vanishing like the face in a crystal ball. I hear they're selling out the country to foreign entities. Not because they have power, they can do as they please. That beautiful place called Port Zante, we can't find a public loo. As it assumes we must demand this nonsense must not continue. SIDF funds missing like a mystery game. Who is accountable? Tell me, it's a crying shame. I need a doctor.
Share the live, share the live.
Come and check me here. Because I hear me strange things, things I don't like to hear. I need a doctor. I am so confused. With all this ringing, 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 I don't like bad news. I need a doctor. I'm feeling the blues. It's the people who vote for them say labor is the problem. Chocolate? I need some chocolate. Anybody have chocolate? Baby, don't buy. I'm only hearing bad news in my ears, oh Lord. Like this whole nation up on struck a bad cure. Scandal after scandal, we are living in fear. We keep crying out, but nobody cares. No electricity and no water, but we still have to pay that rent. 600 houses they promise us, up to no blocks can't touch cement. If there is good news, shout it loud and clear. Or take me by Timothy, let him fix me here. I need a doctor to come and check me ears. Because I hear me strange things, things I don't like to hear. I need a doctor, Lord, I am so confused. With all this ringing, 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 I don't like bad news. I need a doctor, I'm feeling the blues. Pay double salary, make the people happy. That's for me. Green tea. Oh yeah,
Share the live, share the live.
I took a walk outside, is then I hear a voice say, we have to do better, we have to kneel and pray. Say a prayer for Janelica, who was taken away. I pray for our country, to see a brighter day. Let us pray for children to be an asset to this land. Leaders must lead with transparency, not a whole bag of corruption. Then our country will progress in every way. Come on, citizens, we have this part to play. I need a doctor to come and check me ears. Because I hear me strange things, things I don't like to hear. I need a doctor. I am so confused. With all this ringing, 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 I don't like bad news. I need a doctor. I'm feeling the blues. They're selling out the whole and if it's how I gon' get some fish. Marky, do you have any fish for me? A.U. Brown, calling on you, A.U. Brown, for the doctor.
Sounds of the man green tea. I need a doctor to check me ears. I'm DJ Mauricio and I'm coming to you live and direct from my bunker here in the Republic of St. Paul, St. Kitts. Yes, you heard it right. The DJ is still in our beloved Federation of St. Kitts Nevis, bringing you the happenings on a daily basis and also keeping those bad actors we call politicians feet to the fire. I have a lot to talk about this evening. But just before I do that, I know many of you may be scrolling the web for the first time and bump into us and wondering what this podcast is all about. So let's take a quick listen.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Mauricio's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Mauricio. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Mauricio, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Mauricio. Log on.
Yes, you heard it right. DJ Mauricio is here each and every Wednesday evening from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. local time in our beloved Federation of St. Kitts Nevis. However, at this point, we're having some issues with the Facebook app, so we do come a bit early for those of you who have the time to ensure that we are live at our regular 6 to 8 p.m. period. Now, my good people, as many of you may be already aware that we are having some issues here in our beloved Federation. The bad actors that we elect back in 2022, September 5th, 2022 to be exact. We thought it was changing the corruption and the bad acting, but it appears as though these new actors that we put in there on August 5th, they're not only just as bad, they are doing worse. And the DJ has taken the responsibility back then. I told the people that, listen, give them a chance. I am giving you my word. I'll be monitoring. I'll be keeping my eyes on the prize. I'll be holding their foot to the fire. And the first sign of them doing anything outside of what we gave them to do, you'll be hearing from the DJ. And that is what I am doing consistently with my messaging. And so far, we have had 2 awareness matches, one on the 26th of September. We also had one on the 31st of last month, October. The next match is scheduled for next Friday, 21st November, which going to bring the same conversation. You know, the naysayers and the bad actors, they're talking about the numbers of people on the street. The DJ cannot go into any political party or go into anyone's house and take them out and tell them to come on the street. But what the DJ does is provide an avenue for those who wish to join me to bring this awareness to the people in the region and overseas in the diaspora, because the folks here on the ground in St. Kitts Nevis, they're crying out. They already know what is happening and they know what they need to do. So when I do an awareness march, really is to reach the folks online. And that is where I know I am doing very well. Last March on the 31st of October, we saw some 5K plus online viewing the match and commenting. So that was a good response. I look forward to similar, if not better, response coming next Friday. I also reach out to the people in our beloved Federation to come out, speak. You know, they are saying that you guys are in agreement with what is happening because you guys are not hitting the streets. So basically, it's up to you guys whether or not you want to continue that kind of thinking, or whether you want to show them that you're basically not in favor of what's taking place at the moment. So my people, I'm going to drop this quick ad about the match next week, and the general public are invited to come on out and take a cool walk with the DJ.
Let's unite. Citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis, it's your time. Boots on the streets are required. Let's save our country. Get your placards ready. Friday, 21st November, gathering at the West Bus Ferry Terminal on the Bay Road at 3:30. March starts from 4 until 6. For more information, call 660-0195 or email grantavenue@gmail.com. So, on Friday 21st November, meet up at the West Bus Ferry Terminal from 3:30, marching from 4, and be a part of the Citizens Empowerment Coalition Awareness March.
Rise, citizens, arise, the country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Yes, my good people, you heard it right. That next Friday, 21st November, we'll be gathering there at the West Ferry Terminal there, downtown Bastille, St. Kitts. And we'll be kicking off our march from 4 to 6. We will end back at the ferry terminal with a rally. So come on out, be a part of history, saving our beloved Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. My good people, we're going to drop Dwyer's commentary in a bit. But just before I drop my boy G.A. Dwyer commentary, I'm going to drop a clip here by one of our icons, the man himself, Dr. Garfield Alexander, giving his predictions of the DJ.
DJ Marisha, I don't want you guys to take your eyes off him. Remember, he's been around for some time. Let's go back to COVID and lockdowns. The gentleman came in, was locked down in quarantine, and then realized the total hypocrisy, tyranny, and oppression of the then administration during our most horriblest time. Spoke out. Not only spoke out, became an activist. And then you know what he did? Organize and centralize. And he never stopped organizing and centralizing until Timothy was gone. I don't even want to talk about the involvement he had before and the Douglas administration and the Harris. We ain't gonna talk about that. I'm just talking that during COVID, that man, both on this front, locally, and in the US, waged war against tyranny and oppression. One simple man. A DJ as he calls himself. He never called himself an engineer or anything else. Just a DJ. Because he understands the power of voice. And not just voice. Autonomous, independent, honest, transparent voice. Always wins in the end. So it could be persons with unlimited power and unlimited money. He somehow always becomes the David against the Goliaths. Be careful with him. Be kind to him. Watch him. Because trust me, he's going to triumph in the end. Again.
Yes, that's the song of the man himself, the icon Dr. Garfield Alexander, giving his views on the DJs and the works of the DJ. Now, my good people, I got to give my boy Dwyer some props that he's really putting in some overtime on this one. For 3 consecutive weeks, Dwyer's commentary has been punching across the narrows there about this SSZ zone, the Destiny project there that is supposed to be coming to Nevis. So let's take a quick listen to my boy G.A. Dwyer Astafan for today, Wednesday, November 12th, 2025.
Greetings. This special sustainable zone matter is certainly getting special attention in this country, and rightly so, because what is being proposed here is a game changer like nothing before it in modern St. Kitts and Nevis. The question to be answered is, would this turn Nevis and St. Kitts into an El Dorado with our streets lined with gold and our bank accounts pregnant with cash? Or would it be in effect no different from the plundering, exploitative BS of old, stripping us of our dignity and our patrimony, and sending us as a country and as a people to an ignominious crash? Which one is it? To answer this question requires that the fundamentals of the project are shared with and understood by our people. And given the historic gravity of the matter, it is important that no binding decision is taken by our leaders unless the project has received broad national support. And in determining the question of broad national support, I think it would be important for the government and the NIA to commission a formal, transparent, independent poll. This is how important this matter is. And if you hear me say today things that I've said before, it is because I believe that it is necessary to do so. We vote for opportunity, for stability, and for sustainability. We vote for a better St. Kitts and Nevis. We vote in the cause of our own individual and collective development. We vote to avoid embarrassment, loss, and disaster. And we, the voters, have not only to be vigilant, but we need to step in from time to time to ensure that we get what we voted for. We must vote like winners, and in between voting every 4 or 5 years, we must act like winners. We, the voters, must be our own champions. Who are these destiny people? They are people who believe in less government and more individuality, less laws and regulations, and more voluntary interactions among individuals, of course. They are known as libertarians, and they have an organization which is called the Free Society Foundation. Their leader is Olivier Janssens. He's a cryptocurrency man. And there are a number of other major crypto figures involved in it, not the least of whom is Roger Ver, a crypto billionaire who holds a St. Kitts Nevis passport. His nickname is Bitcoin Jesus. So you can presume there'll be a lot of crypto in the Destiny Project. I'm told that Mr. Janssens is also a holder of a St. Kitts Nevis passport. This group has been on the hunt for years to find locations where they can set up libertarian countries, or if you prefer not to hear the word countries, libertarian autonomous zones of their own. It should come as no surprise to you, therefore, if you were told that they target vulnerable and sometimes desperate countries in their quest to set up their autonomous libertarian zones. These are the folks who want to buy 3 square miles of Nevis to set up their zone. Between last week's commentary and today, a lot has happened. I can only give you a bit of it because of time. In a stakeholder meeting, the Nevis Island administration leaders were asked about compensation in terms of default by a party to the agreement, whether the developers or the NIA or the federal government. And I'm told that the Nevis Island administration responded that if it is Destiny's fault, the developer's fault, their maximum liability would be $75 million. However, if it is the fault of the NIA or the federal government, the liability can reach 2.5 times the value of the Destiny investment. Who would do the valuation of that investment? Where the heck would Nevis or the federal government or both get the money, which could go into the billions, to settle that debt? And even if these two governments, the federal government in St. Kitts and the Nevis Island administration in Charlestown, even if they had that kind of money, that's not the way we should spend our people's money. So if there's no money, the libertarians might call for what? More land. And who would arbitrate the matter if arbitration were necessary? Indeed, if there was a difference of opinion between the NIA and the federal government in terms of that matter or any other, how would that be settled? This is a serious matter, you know. This unfair arrangement with regard specifically, not mentioning anything else, to compensation makes me wonder if the libertarians are more predators than investors, preying upon unsuspecting leaders and citizens of a small, vulnerable country that is hungry for development. I'm also told that the NIA leaders were asked who were the negotiating team, and that they said they were the Nevis Island administration. Let me say a couple of things on that. Negotiations such as these are not likely to have equitable outcomes if one side is demonstrably weaker than the other side. Negotiations like these require the presence of persons with special legal and other skills who can understand all of the issues to ensure that a good deal is made. I can recall a somewhat similar situation, although not as extreme as this one, when the Christopher Harbour deal was negotiated back in 2006 and 7, and that deal did no great favors to the people of this country, nor to commercial or residential investors in Christopher Harbour. It was horrible. The skill sets on the government side back then were no match for the skill sets on the other side. And God knows what else was in our negotiators' heads or was not. The government wanted a big project. They were tantalized by the sound of a potential $2 billion being pumped into the economy. They were seduced and they signed, and we suffered. The second point I want to raise here, the Destiny Project has serious implications for St. Kitts and for Nevis, for both governments. Indeed, if an agreement is reached, it has to be signed by the PM and by the Premier. So both NIA and federal government, both Nevis and St. Kitts would be parties to the agreement. So it raises this question for me. How can a matter of such federal significance, unprecedented significance, how can a proposed development to which the federal government is a party and is to be a signatory be negotiated solely by the Nevis Island administration at the exclusion of the federal government? How could that be? Now, Section 6 of the Act states that a development agreement may, M-A-Y, contain provisions relating to 17 matters. Why is it that the development agreement may contain those provisions? Why not all of those provisions? All are important. I've read it. All are important. Why is there an option, a choice? Then Section 7 states that an agreement containing 7 certain provisions listed in Section 6, 7 of those 17 matters shall be ratified and contained in a law passed by the National Assembly, and if the zone is in Nevis, by the Nevis Island Assembly. It states that upon the execution of the agreement under the Act, signed by the parties, the Premier and the Prime Minister, if it is in Nevis, and then following ratification required under Section 7, the Premier and the Prime Minister shall declare the area to be a special sustainability zone. When the matter goes to the National Assembly, what documents will be presented? Will the documents refer to the development agreement but not include its provisions? So what would the members of Parliament have before them to debate? Certainly the members of the opposition, with the exception of the CCM representatives, will have nothing before them. I'm presuming that the CCM cabinet will have seen and considered the proposed development agreement. But the other opposition members will not have had that luxury. My guess is that the plan is not to include the entire agreement. And this now would severely limit and stifle debate and the scope of debate, and limit the public's access to information and perspectives on their very own patrimony. I think that would be terrible, preposterous, outrageous. Mind you, this is something that we and generations to come for hundreds of years would be bound by, but we don't know a darn thing about it. What about transparency and good governance? What happened to those things? I want to respectfully bring to the attention of our leaders that there can sometimes be a thin line between ratification and ratting out. I want to urge them to choose ratification rather than ratting out. And when I said choosing ratification, not the word, but the action. I would even have preferred stronger language to make it mandatory for the whole agreement to be brought to the Parliament, to be debated and determined, even though we know the majority will go and succeed. That will ventilate the matter in the public square for all of us to know. But that is not when we should know, As I've said before, we should know before the ink dries on the paper. If that is not done, What we'll be seeing here is a most egregious act of legislative and executive arrogance, defiance, disregard, and disrespect of historic proportion committed against us, the people, and our children and their children for 500 years to come, and a vicious assault on democracy perpetrated by our leaders who, like us, are hungry for development. But we want development which preserves our honor and integrity, our dignity, and development which puts our people first. So
Yes, my good people, that's the commentary for today, Wednesday, 12th November, by the man G.A. Dwyer Astafan. And I must give him compliments for sticking to the fight. My good people, this fight actually starts sometime for me back in July, following a town hall meeting there at Nevis, where a young lady asked the premier a question in regards to some rumors she was hearing about some development on the south side of Nevis. And basically, the premier claimed that he was not inclined to discuss anything about rumors, basically denying what it was all about. But as we know by now, it only take a few weeks for us to really get to the meat of the matter, because this matter eventually made it to the federal parliament on the 31st of July for its first reading, and on August 11th, 2025 for the second and third reading. I think it was became an act after it was gazetted back in on August 25th, somewhere there about 2025, thereabout. And the conversation continued. My grandparents always spoke to me about prevention better than cure. I have been coming here week after week, beating the social media, trying to bring awareness to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis here in our beloved Federation, regional and internationally. And some people are playing politics. And what I see happening these days is that there are some political parties, political pundits, folks who plan to run for candidacy, basically realize that this particular topic is taking on a different life, and they're coming out now with town halls and press conferences and blogs on a daily basis, trying to bury the fact that this DJ is the one who has been bringing this matter to the general public from day one. Some of them even afraid to call my name. They mention every other platform except this platform, when I have been the leading platform dealing with this matter. I have also been on the streets and taken my cousin from some people like Erasmus Sherman Douglas. So last Friday, I received a WhatsApp message from Queen this and that of Nevis there. You all know the Calypsonian over there in Nevis, Queen this and that. I received a WhatsApp with a link, appeared to be something coming from Von Radio. That's something she was doing. Well, I took the time out and listened to the presentation, and to my surprise, I am shocked to know that Queen this and that is trying to discredit the DJ march, the DJ awareness march that the DJ put together, when someone in the likes of Queen this and that, who have been out there singing and championing the rights of citizens and defending our federation and her island of Nevis, now today, I guess she got to defend Shiman, because that's what's going on in this place. I have a clip I'll play at some point in time during the podcast this evening, where our Attorney General reached out to his neighbor and friend, a citizen of St. Kitts Nevis, and drop a couple of F-bombs telling the gentleman to keep his wife's name out of his mouth and keep his name out of his mouth. I understand since then there was some attention brought to the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister says that the man has a right to defend his wife. So if the Prime Minister going to be in that, take it in that light, that the violation that was done by the AG to the citizen, that the man have to defend his wife, I would really like to know what our GG is saying about this, and what our DPP is saying about this, and what our Commissioner of Police is saying about this, because there's laws against this thing. And if the AG is not going to be dealt with the same level of the laws of this country that we gave to Lindsey Grant when he was standing up for his son at the last stop bar back in 2020, 2021, then I think the Governor General need to give Lindsey Grant a full pardon, because we all know how we went after Lindsey Grant and demanded that he be charged for what he did at his son's establishment. Between the DPP and the police commissioner at the time, none of them wanted to take on the responsibility to charge Lindsey Grant. But I understand since then the matter was tried and he was ordered to pay some thousands of dollars upon conviction. So if this is how we're going to have the new laws in our beloved federation, then Lindsey should have never been charged. Lindsey should have never been made to pay any money because he was defending his son. So just the same, I would say to Queen, this and that. I'm going to drop the clip that the general public can hear you defending your man. And I would say to you, you're the Queen of Nevis. You have a right to defend your man. So let's take a quick listen.
Meanwhile, the Premier has been saying at every chance he gets that no proposal has been signed. But not even that has prevented the supporters of Barabbas from spreading their lies and propaganda. The NIA has since embarked on a series of consultations with members of the chamber, the church, persons in the tourism sector, the police, truckers, backhoe owners, contractors, 5th and 6th form students, the general public through one town hall meeting thus far, a press conference, and of course Premier Mark Brantley on his own On The Mark program and at his monthly press conference. But again, the more info that is given to the ones who supported Barabbas is the more they spread lies and propaganda. Some Kittitians has joined the Barabbas team, namely my good friend Sam Conda, DJ Marisha, Ian Patches Libod, who hates Nevis and hates Mark Brantley with a passion, Mr. Ira McMahon, who can't stand the fact that the Honorable Mark A.G. Brantley is brighter than him, former Prime Minister Timothy Harris, who said every dollar of the CBI money that goes to Nevis is a dollar taken away from the people of St. Kitts. And last but not least, my good friend Dwyer Astafan. Dwyer Astafan, I must say, I am extremely disappointed with, because I would have heard him on his latest commentary on Tuesday saying some things that he knows not to be true. For example, he said that the developers could have their own police, own elections, own government, etc. He knows fully well none of that is true. But he says it anyway, because he doesn't want Nevis to get such a development. None of those persons I just mentioned wants that to happen. They really cares nothing about Nevis. Where were the voices, I ask, when Nevis was crying out for its fair share of the CBI funds? Where were their voices when Christopher Harbour was sold under their nose? Where were their voices when the checks of civil servants here in Nevis was deliberately left to bounce up and down like a rubber? And you know the funny thing about the utterances of these people, they don't have a clue where the lands are that is to be developed. They have never been there. But they have decided to join the Barabbas team for personal reasons only. Not out of love for country, not because they love the people of Nevis, not because they see anything wrong with the project, but purely out of grudge in some cases, envy in other cases, and hate for one man. The man that the British Empire sees and honor as a doctor of laws. The man that was recently honored and recognized as one of the top 10 leaders in the Caribbean region. Some Nevisians living in the diaspora have also joined the Barabbas team. They live in America, Europe, Canada, some even in Africa, but are calling the developers racists, libertarians. Mind you, where they live is where the white people live, where the libertarians live. But for political reasons, and out of sheer grudge and envy and hate for one man, they are prepared to crucify Jesus in the person of Mark Brantley and save Barabbas in the person of the name I won't mention. They have been saying falsely, of course, that the people of Nevis are totally against the development of the lands in the south. The evidence has shown that the NRP held a rally to show the world that Nevisian was against the SSD. And only about 30 people showed up. 3-0. Over in St. Kitts, DJ Maurice Shaw held a rally which was supported by the hierarchy of the People's Action Movement. PAM! And only about 20 people showed up. They put on a second rally. Second rally was put on by DJ Maurice Shaw against the SSD Act and the proposed Destiny Development. But this time PAM stayed away because they realized that what was being said is not true. And this time only 3 people turned up for that rally. One of those 3 is a Nevisian who traveled to St. Kitts specifically for the march. How unfortunate. There was no Dwyer Astafan, no Sam Conda, no Ian Patches Libert, no Ira McMahon, no Timothy Harris. Not one of them joined the march to show their support for what was called a rally against the SSC Act and the proposal, the Destiny proposal. Just my partner Jamdong, who bawled out his voice every week, and a local Nevisian pastor who has sold his soul for a few shillings. Poor DJ Maurice Shaw was left on his own at the second rally. But they all claim that the act is bad and that the whole of Nevis is against the Destiny Project. Well, evidence has shown something totally different. Totally different. Because since so much people was against this act, and this proposed development, There was 3 rallies held to demonstrate that fact. And none got more than 30 people.
Yeah, Queen, this and that. I can give you some credit for some of the people that you call out there, yes. Though you have your numbers wrong and you got your information wrong, which I think you basically willfully want to mislead the people. The citizens that you called out and more, who have so much to say about the SSZ Act, they're not in favor of it, should have been on the street in support of the awareness march. But I just want to correct you that my awareness march that I put together, the last 2 marches and the march for next Friday, they're about several things that is affecting our beloved Federation and the people of St. Kitts Nevis. It is not a rally, and it was not a rally against the SSZ Act. It's about many things. And I have called them out from time to time, and some of them too many to mention. But I know, Queen, this and that. You listen to my podcast, that I know. And I'm pretty sure you know that the SSZ matter was basically the last thing that might have came on stream. I started with the prison project in Estridge. That's basically is where I bring the bad blood between myself and the current Prime Minister. Because back in 2022, we campaigned strongly against that project, which I have a clip I'll drop on that as well later on in the broadcast. And to see that he campaigned and the corruption and the bad acting and all of that with that project. And he's in office now in his 4th year, and that project continues in full steam. Not only that, he goes into Parliament and gives the impression that the former Prime Minister did so much wrong when he was the one that I found out eventually signed off on the majority of those CORs. So this and that, my issues are not just about the SSZ. My issue went from the prison project to the Christophe Harbour, to the matter of Reginald Francis. We have the bar owners there over at the Friars Beach. We had the situation with the healthcare system here that is in a mess, the economy, and we can go on and on. We have my boy there, Brother Glenn Barrow, amongst many other situations, the 2,400 smart homes that they said they will deliver 600 per year, and that money's, nobody could tell us what happened with that. There's a whole lot of things, Queen, this and that. So again, I marched back in 21, 22 by myself. We see the end result because you see a new government. The current Prime Minister stand up in front of government headquarters by himself. He's now Prime Minister today. And that is the disappointment for me, is to see that he knew what we campaign against, and nothing have changed and what in that regard, but whatever was changed is for the worse. We campaign about the electoral system, the electoral office in St. Kitts and Nevis. Following the federal election of August 5th, there was local election in Nevis on December, I think it's the 12th, 2022. Nothing was done. Though they said that the electoral system was so bad. But today, they are busy trying to do their will to undermine the people's vote, the people's right to get another term in there. No matter what they try, they will not get back in there. That I can assure you. I am sitting back, I am looking on, I'm observing, and I'm watching them doing their thing. When the time is ripe, we will address the matter. But whether this and that, I just want you to understand something. I do my utmost best not to get personal with people. But if you're gonna choose to come at the DJ about politics, then the DJ would have no choice but to respond to you. And it will not be a very nice response. I believe in leveraging the pound of flesh that is leveraged at me. So I'm sending one warning shot this evening, brother this, and sister that watch yourself, know who you're coming at. I will give you a fair warning because we have a mutual friend, and I don't think that mutual friend would appreciate me coming at you in any way, because I know the love that that friend have for you. And I actually thought, after our conversation some years ago, when you gave me your history in the Calypso business and your history with your neighbor, the King Miko, why you all was not speaking and whatever, I could understand now why Miko did not want to communicate with you, because, but no, I know that stuff that you read there in that clip. You didn't write that yourself. And for whatever reason you got to sing for your supper, I'm going to give you a little advice. Do like me. Stand up to these bad actors and tell them you're not going to mislead your people. Tell them take their work because you give it to them. The time going to come for you to take it back from them. But to come to the people to mislead the people, brother, this and that. I'm going to play a clip right now, and I want you to understand, Queen, this and that. It's because of what transpired at this town hall, why I object to the SSZ and said to repeal it. Because from this town hall where everything started for me to now, if we follow all of the conversation with the Premier, the Prime Minister, the AG, the Destiny came out and make a presentation, you can see that this thing has been going on for some years. This didn't just start yesterday. And for the Premier, do not know 1 minute and next minute he knows. The AG, he did not know who draft. He got to bring his drafting team to Freedom FM because he do not know who do this, who did not do that. And then come back and saying what did not happen and what happened. Both the Premier, the Prime Minister, and the AG, they are contradicting each other with their messaging. This is where the DJ says, repeal the law. Because the way it started in the first place should have been public consultation before it gets even to Parliament. And if Nevis wanted to do this SSZ zone, have your town halls on Nevis. Discuss it with the people of Nevis. Not bring it, ram it down the people throat in Parliament, in the federal Parliament. And now the Prime Minister who presented this bill, who wrap up on this bill, the Attorney General that you, Premier Brantley, said is the one that recommended that this matter come to the federal Parliament and not the local NIA, is now saying they don't want to discuss the matter. Let them discuss it in Davis. You all are confused. You all cannot just come and do this nonsense because what? Somebody pay you all some money someplace and you all just take the money and run and figure that we are some jackasses in St. Kitts Nevis, we're going to just accept it? Well, that's not going to happen. So, Queen, this and that, I'm going to play this clip because you moderated this meeting. You were the one that moderated this meeting, Queen, this and that. I'm going to drop this clip and I'm going to let you listen to one of your songs. I do not know if you remember this song you sang some years ago about the white man wish. Well, right now it seems as though you are the one that trying to fulfill the white man's wish. So let's take a listen to the town hall of July 5th.
And to whoever you want to sell it to, the government cannot stop you. But then if you're hearing that it's going to become something so private and so exclusive that perhaps, because as you say, it's rumor, perhaps I may not be able to go down there with my grandchild. I may not be able to fish. The boat may not be able to go out. That to me then falls on government to make sure it looks out for the people and let us know what's really going on in the area.
Well, I think that's fair, but as you say, you started by saying rumor, and I would be a fool as Premier to sit up here and say I'm responding to every rumor. If I had to deal with every rumor that I hear every day, I would have no time to do the actual work for the people of Nevis. So if you have rumors or you're listening to rumors, I would suggest read the Bible instead.
Maybe it's not a rumor.
Because, I am saying that we as government have no knowledge of what you're speaking because no formal proposal has come to the government. I explained that. So here you are talking about rumors, and you're asking me as Premier to respond to rumors. I say read the Bible, read Genesis. I think it's a far better use of your time.
Mr. Premier, are you confirming that it is a rumor? Are you confirming that it's a rumor and there's no truth to it?
But I don't know. Am I not speaking English? I'm trying my very best to explain that the government has no proposal before it for any development of the kind that you say is rumored. That is what I'm saying. If and when such a thing comes, consistent with our transparent approach, we will definitely come and talk about it.
But we should be concerned, shouldn't we? We should be concerned.
You should be concerned about rumors.
It may not be a rumor. We don't know. The average person, me, the individual in the community, and the reason why we're here tonight, right, is to come to people so you could hear from them. So please don't try to shut me up, okay? I have a right to speak as a Nevisian. I have a right to speak as a Gingerlander. I live in this community, so please calm.
Miss Basley?
My name is not Miss Bazzi. My name is Carlin Lawrence.
Carlin Lawrence.
Okay, Miss Bazzi works at Neville.
We're scheduled to stop at 9 o'clock.
What I am asking for Mr. Scarborough is the Premier, I have to ask here because the average person don't know. We're hearing it, it could be a rumor and it may not be a rumor. And since we want to play games with words, since the real estate agency, right, that is being said to be dealing with the developer is Mrs. Brantley's agency, then I have to ask.
Mrs. Lawrence, if that is some attempt to drag Mrs. Brantley's real estate agency, as you say, into your rumor mongering, then I ask you to desist. Miss Lawrence, hear me out. You asked a question. You have come to the town hall meeting. You have premised a whole debate tonight on some rumor that you say you have been hearing. I don't know how am I supposed to respond to that. I respond to facts. I respond to situations that we are aware of that are on the ground. I said to you that the government has had no formal proposal setting out any project of the kind that you've described.
But that wasn't my question.
I've said that 3 times. And every time I've told you that you're going back to say what you hear, your rumor, what you hear.
I didn't ask if the government had a proposal before it, you know. I asked to please explain to the people or to shed some light on what we are hearing.
But how can I shed light on what you are hearing?
So you don't know?
I don't even know where you're hearing it from.
Okay, you don't know, and it's unfortunate, Mr. Premier, that you don't know as the leader of the island.
Could you give somebody else the mic, please,
You
Miss
should
Lawrence?
know as
We
something
would have
as
heard what you had to say,
serious.
Miss Lawrence.
Mr. Scarborough,
Please,
something
give somebody
as-
else the mic.
Mr. Scarborough, this is a democratic island, we say, right? You don't have to agree with me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have commandeered the mic on the basis of a rumor that you have heard. I don't even know, is your neighbors give you the rumor? You heard it on radio? Where did the rumor come from?
We know. I ain't even trying to let you lead me down the road,
But
because all of us know where party comes from.
we have a town hall where the government is seeking to engage with the public. You have insisted on engaging us all night on the basis of what
No,
you
Mr.
describe.
Brantley.
You describe as rumors.
I'm asking if there's any truth to it, because you should know. You're saying there's no proposal before government for
Yes.
development in the area.
Yes.
I accept that.
Okay.
But then you should know what is happening or what is said to be happening, and then you should be able to shed some light on what is going on. So I was only asking in the interest of the people that to make sure that we are not cut off from being able to use the Atlantic coast, right? And who is offended I owe no apology to.
So,
right?
Ms. Lawrence, it's not about people.
I want to know because I want to be able to use the shoreline, so
Okay,
I'm asking.
And if there is any development that we need to engage in with the public, we will. I have been trying to answer you all night, and no matter how I try to answer, you keep coming back to what you hear.
Okay.
What you've been hearing. I am not in the same circles as you. I don't know what you're hearing.
My
I can only
conclusion.
respond to what we know as government that has been presented to us, and that is what I can speak to.
So
If, again, I say, I were to speak to every rumor that this island generates, I would have no time to actually do work.
I understand and I agree. The conclusion to your response then, sir, is that you don't know what is happening and you don't know anything about what could be happening in that area. Thank you.
You're most
So, Queen, this and that. That was the town hall of July 5th. We all know what happened after that because this bill that nobody wanted to take credit for end up in the federal parliament on the 31st of July. So out of all of that back and forth, let me present something to you, Queen, this and that. This clip I'm about to play now had Premier Brantley made these statements on the 5th of July when this young lady asked the question about the rumors. The DJ wouldn't have nothing to say now. The DJ will stand by and let the people of Nevis deal with their matters. But following the conversation and how the conversation been changing back and forth between the Premier, the AG, and the Prime Minister, and I guess you, the supporters. Like I said, I have no problem with you defending your man. That is your man. That is how you get your living. I don't have a problem with that. But let's take a listen to this clip. Let's hear the Premier Brantley speaking following that town hall, following the bill was passed and went into law. Right? Let's take a listen to that.
Asked about my wife again, and what I can tell you is that I had no involvement whatsoever in anything to do with these people deciding to use my wife. In fact, I will go further and tell you that my wife knew these people before I did. So nothing came to the government and then there was a suggestion that somehow they were sent to my wife. That is not the case. And I think that people who know me would know that I do not do business that way. So my wife actually knew these people and was engaged with these people. I think she told me that her first engagement with them was merely to find information because the people were interested. They wanted to know who owned, they wanted to know, what was happening on the island in terms of activity, in terms of real estate. And she's a real estate broker, and so she dealt with it. But there is absolutely no truth to the suggestion that I had anything to do with steering those people to my wife's business or in any way, shape, or form. And I will say that because that is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And I'm not here to try to convince anybody of anything. I have seen some of the comments popping up, so I know the audience that I have. I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm telling you what the facts are. You accept them or you don't accept them. But that is the position. My wife actually knew these people long before I had any knowledge of them or engaged with them in any way, shape, or form. The people have come to the government. They have made a formal proposal to the government, and the government is considering that proposal.
So, Queen, this and that. That statement, had Premier Brantley made that statement the night of July 5th, when the young lady asked about the rumors, the DJ won't have much to say now. The DJ would have to accept the situation. But no, that's not what happened. Premier Brantley went on to tell the young lady about reading Bible and all that kind of good stuff. So what you all expect people to do, I don't understand. But we're going to drop another clip, We're going to drop another clip. I have some clips here that I have to line up for you all to understand that when you're all talking to sensible people, you all must understand that it's best you tell the truth. Because when you tell lies, lies are some of the hardest thing to remember. You know, only one prime minister right now think he can remember all the lies them. And I know he can't remember all of them, but he's trying his best to remember them. And at the end of the day, it's going to come to the fore that the truth will prevail, because all of these lies are stacking up. And when they come crumbling down, it's going to be like a medley. Remember Elimat did an album Soca on 33 some years ago with the disco brawl and them thing? That's how these lies going to be coming down on him. So, Brother Brantley, you made a statement some weeks ago, and I know that is how you feel, because the Deputy Prime Minister have said to me in certain terms when I spoke to him about what he was dealing and not doing his job, that he don't care. The AG said to me right in the conference room of the Prime Minister when I approached him about a certain situation, he told me he don't care. So I know for a fact that you guys really don't care about the people. That's something that I know for a fact. So let's take a quick listen and hear it from the Premier mouth for himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to advise those who may not have known that it does not matter to me one jot what people say. It doesn't matter. What you have to say about me and your opinion of me, that no matter. You understand? Because when I go home, it is the opinions there that matter to me most. I live by me. You live by you. So you worry about who home by you, whether them like you or not. And I can worry about who home by me. See, for example, that is a...
So, my good people, you all hear it for yourself. These people have no care about what we say, as they say. They're going to do what they have to do. They're going to collect whatever they have to collect. And they're going to do what they have to do. Some time ago, my boy, Dr. Douglas, he was speaking about another parliamentarian. And Douglas had this to say. So I don't know if it's the same thing on Nevis with the Premier. But Douglas had this to say.
Tell them don't play with me, you know. You don't understand how much it hurts me to be speaking like this about former colleagues, you know. For 18 years, did you ever hear me say anything negative about any of them? Eh? You ever heard me? Not one word. And they go out there and saying all kind of things about me. And me not say nothing up to now. And I was start to talk in St. Paul's. They say how I worthless and I am a beast and all kind of thing. Eh? Well, one thing me sure me no kuno muno. One thing I am sure, I don't have to go home and ask any woman at home what to do and come back the next morning and say, well, my view is this and this. And anybody, any leader in this country, in the future in particular, and take it from the maximum leader in the whole Caribbean region. No leader must allow his wife to run the shot for him, because he will be called a kunumuno.
You all hear that? I do not know if that is what's happening on Nevis, but this was Douglas' words, that many of those leaders, they come out and act like grown men in public, but when they go home, is their wife tell them what to do in Parliament. Douglas also had this to say. Let the clips continue running. My good people, I'm only the messenger. Please, I only bring you the message.
They believed that this was the right time for them to make their move. On Monday, the 10th day of December, Timothy Harris walk into my office, and in the presence of someone, he look at me and he tell me, I must resign. I, Denzel Douglas, must resign and give him the prime ministership. That damn forward little girl.
Oxygen. This one girl is one of the nice and girls all around the world. Sometimes one oxygen. Oxygen.
I said, Timothy, you know how I become prime minister? I come prime minister because I'm the leader of the Labour Party. I have the support of my own colleagues in there. We were inside the room, outside the cabinet room. I said, and I went to the people on the 25th day of January 2010. The people voted for the team that I presented to them as the leader. I said, you must learn to wait your time. Wait your time, little girl. Wait your time. He tell me, I want it now, I want it now, I want it now, I want it now, I want it now.
Breathe for me, yeah, breathe for me, like it breathe for me, yeah, breathe for me, like it breathe for me.
Up to now, me don't know what you want, because what you want, me not give him. Not me tell him go look for Sean.
Breathe for me, yeah, breathe for me, like it dance catch a fire.
What me have not give to him? Tell him go look for Sean.
Breathe for me, yeah, breathe for me, like it breathe for me, yeah, breathe for me, like it dance catch a fire.
Tell me simmer down, simmer down. So I gonna simmer down. I gonna simmer down. But up to now you hurt me, you know. You hurt me, you know. Beat me, beat me, beat me.
Me boy Dougie, here's something else. But my good people, the clips continue because it's their words, you know. It's not the DJ making up anything, eh? These are their words. Now, in recent times, following the presentation of this bill in Parliament and passing this bill and gazette it and make it into law, the Prime Minister is now saying that he don't know what they're talking about because the SSZ and Nevis is not destiny. So let's take a quick listen.
Does Prime Minister Drew really just not understand the new SSZ legislation, or are his lies catching up with him? Despite all of the controversies on Nevis about the Destiny Project, don't you find it strange that PM Drew claims not to know anything about it?
Simply say that the SSZ is not the Destiny. Destiny as a project, I have not seen a proposal about a project.
Oh, you haven't seen it as yet?
It hasn't. Well, it's out there, but I have not received anything as Prime Minister as a proposal.
Does the Prime Minister understand the legislation that he recently passed in the Parliament? Under the SSZ Act, the Prime Minister is a party to every SSZ development agreement in the country. Section 4.1 says that the Prime Minister may enter into development agreements. And Section 4.2 says that where the area is in the island of Nevis, he shall consult with the NIA before he enters into a development agreement. With the Destiny Project having gone public, and all of these town halls and song and dance over the project, how has he not seen the proposal for the development agreement that he has to sign? He clearly either doesn't know his role, or is just negligent in doing his job. Despite the PM's claims that an SSC does not create a country within a country, and that it does not affect our constitution or our sovereignty, listen to PM Drew himself admit that it does. And that this is the reason why there should be parliamentary oversight.
But the SSZ says that any development of a particular size where the constitution comes into question, sovereignty comes to question, You just can't establish it. You must bring it to Parliament.
Here PM Drew criticizes the lack of transparency in the Four Seasons and Christoph Harbour agreements not being made public.
For example, the Four Seasons Agreement. Have you ever seen that?
No.
I did not have to come to Parliament. The Christoph Harbour, have you ever seen the agreement for Christoph Harbour? Maybe.
Pieces.
But it didn't come to Parliament. I'm not saying that any is bad or good. I'm just saying that there were major developments that did not have to come to Parliament. This is not just a project like a simple project.
But what about the Ritz-Carlton agreement?
Because I will not accept anybody signing anything in the dark night that can affect our constitution, that can affect our sovereignty, and can be established without being its own law.
Madam Speaker, I want to announce in this honorable House that St. Kitts and Nevis, I am thrilled to announce that after much negotiations, that after much of putting the right things in place before this announcement is made, that we have brought together a joint press release that we will have here in St. Kitts to start construction in 2025, a brand new Ritz-Carlton Hotel.
The Ritz-Carlton agreement never went to Parliament, and no one has seen that agreement, so was it signed by PM Drew in the dark night? Maybe we should ask the affected beach bar owners. But here is even more evidence that the PM clearly doesn't understand this whole SSZ concept.
The government alone cannot sign without first bringing it to Parliament. What used to happen when development of those type come, not a simple hotel or a simple, when those development come, they sign with the government, and then you just start to see implementation. And you're like, so where's the agreement? The agreement was signed in private.
That's not true, Mr. PM. Section 7(2) of the SSZ Act says, upon the execution of a development agreement under this Act, and following any ratification required pursuant to Section 7(1), which is what requires the agreement to go before Parliament, the agreement must then be published in the Gazette. So actually, according to the law, the PM has to sign the agreement first and then it goes to Parliament. Come on, Mr. PM. Were you trying to fool the people again, or did the AG just not break down the big legal words for you? It is clear that the Terence Drew Labour government does not know what they are doing and will sell our country to rich foreigners while the people of St. Kitts and Nevis suffer. The Prime Minister and his cabinet colleagues have no clue what they are doing. They only care about their big salaries, enriching their friends and families and traveling around the world. Stand up now and save St. Kitts and Nevis.
My good people, that is all I am saying. The lies continue, and if you guys stay at home, keep your head in the sand. When you come out, when you wake up from under the sun, you're going to be strangers in this bill of federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Now, let's take a listen to another clip where the PM and the AG trying to distance themselves from this SSZ. Queen, this and that. The clips continues. I hope you're listening. Like my partner in New York, they say, turn up the volume, turn it up high, because I want you to understand what the DJ is saying. I know for sure, Queen, this and that. With what you are doing at the moment, I have more love for the people of Nevis than you ever did. You have sung many calypsos, anti-white, racist, racial. And I'm going to play some of them for you this evening. You know? I'm going to drop some of those of your songs for you. Because you all just think people fool. When you're going to talk about Barabbas, you are the biggest of them. And Barabbas is a too good of a name for you. Queen, this and that. So let's take a quick listen.
Sometimes I see people trying to pull me in. You can't pull me into Nevis affairs. If Nevis decide to sell the land here, what does that have to do with me? That is the Nevis Island admin, and it was specific.
Do we have where are some of the sustainable zones here on St. Kitts presently?
There are no sustainable zones.
We don't have any.
No, because this law was just passed.
Okay.
Yes. There's no proposal for St. Kitts for any sustainability zone. The Premier has said there's one for Nevis. I do not want to talk about, to be honest, I don't want to get involved in the debate that's happening in Nevis. That is a debate.
You see, like I said, the AG do not want to get involved in the conversation on Nevis, but they're the one that took the matter to the Parliament. So, Mr. AG, finish saying what you're saying.
For Nevisions.
Okay, so the AG said that is a debate for Nevisions. So, Mr. AG, did not you know all of that when you decided that this matter was supposed to go to Parliament? I'm going to drop another clip here now. I am going to drop another clip here. And this clip is the AG and Freedom FM. A caller called in and asked a very simple question, a yes or no question. But the AG went around some 8+ minutes trying to explain the law. And the question was not about the law. The question was about who had input in the development of the SSZ zone law, the bill. So let's take a quick listen.
With plenty ice backs and all kind of stuff for carrying them back. I want to get rid of them. Okay, listen here now. Earlier you say that like the rich girls pie in the sky.
No, he didn't say that.
No, I said that in the past there was a pie in the sky.
Exactly.
These developers are actually proceeding to construction before the end of this year.
Right. And then you are saying that if not happen, it will be a pie on the ground.
Yes.
No, I said yes. If they leave, if the developers leave because there is obstruction to them proceeding, then it will be a pie that fell on the ground, and nobody will benefit.
Exactly. Jeremy, me listen well, you know. But it will be a pie that just disappear. Or a pie that vanish, you know. Anyway, AG, I want to ask you one quick question and then we gone. The law that passed in the Parliament where a cause so much controversy in Nevis right now. You get me asked the Premier question and he said that he did not put in no input. It was just the AG office is the one that draft that bill. So me ask you now, because this is a freedom. You get any input different to the AG office for draft the bill, yeah?
Let me explain what the bill does. I think
That's not what the man asked you. He asked if there was any input by the Premier.
No, there's been a lot of misinformation. Jamie, if you could give me 30 seconds.
Okay.
All the bill does is allows the Prime Minister to enter into development agreements for the creation of a special sustainability zone.
Mm-hmm.
If there is a zone proposed in Nevis, the Premier and the Nevis Island Administration must be a party to that development agreement. It does not create a zone.
Mm-hmm.
In order for a zone to be created with special rules in Section 6, it must go to Parliament as the development agreement itself.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody gets to see the terms, everybody gets to have the debate. I think this debate is a little premature because this bill is not controversial in any way. It could potentially be that a development agreement bill could be controversial, but we are putting the cart before the horse.
So was there any collaboration with the AG's office and the Premier? That's the question.
There was and the Premier? No.
Or from the Premier's office?
No.
Any contribution from Nevis?
Potentially.
potentially.
Yes, because I'm not the drafter.
Okay.
You want me to bring my drafting team on board? I'll bring them on the show with me next time.
Just find out from the members.
No, but no, okay. But I understand what the question is seeking to do. It is a federal bill. It can apply in St. Kitts or Nevis, as explained during the debate. And the debate is available on YouTube. I wasn't part of the debate, but the debate is available on YouTube. It has the potential to create different types of zones that can bring economic benefit to St. Kitts and Nevis. The debate that is occurring right now is in relation to what the Premier is saying about Nevis.
A potential zone.
And I'm not getting involved in that. The NIA has their
you know,
legal officer and so forth.
Can give your opinion.
All I can say is that I know what is controversial and what is not. The Special Sustainability Zones Authorization Act is uncontroversial because it is preliminary in nature. If a zone is going to be created, there will be a special debate. And Jamie, you know sorry for carrying on, but you know what a complaint I always get? That, especially from Mr. McMahon, we want to see the agreements from the opposition. We want to see these agreements. This act says if an agreement...
the agreement will come before Parliament.
What's more transparent and accountable than that? Then we could have all the debates we want to have about a potential sustainability zone.
Okay. But the question is whether there was collaboration with the Nevis Island administration and the AG's office. So next time you come?
No, the input, no. I can tell you no, because the input for amendments that occurred in Parliament came in Parliament.
Okay. Okay, gentlemen, we are out of time.
Yeah, sorry.
We had a very lively program this afternoon, a fiery program at that, and we heard the opinions of many.
So, my good people, you heard the AG said that no discussion came from the NIA in regards to the SSZ bill or act. Well, let me go across here to the topics with my boy Banky Yoshan and Premier Brantley following that conversation. And let's hear what came out of this conversation when Banky dug a little deep under the banyan tree.
For the opportunity again. The Special Sustainability Authorization, the Special Sustainability Zone Authorization Act was passed on the 11th of August, 2025 in the National Assembly. Let me correct one thing, Banky. Not all legislation passed in the National Assembly automatically applies to Nevis. It depends on the topic. It depends on the subject matter. So in this case, this legislation provides in its terms that it will apply to Nevis, and that had to be with the consent, therefore, of the Nevis Island administration. The Constitution provides that where legislation is passed in the National Assembly on a matter over which the NIA has responsibility, the NIA can signal its acceptance that it would apply to Nevis, and so this legislation does that. I want to go back in time for a moment. I have been, since I was in the national government up until 2022, and since then, I've been in the role of leader of the opposition at the federal level. I have been advocating for efforts to diversify the St. Kitts Nevis economy. I don't think, gentlemen, that it is any secret that we have been incredibly dependent on citizenship by investment. The citizenship by investment goose has been laying that golden egg for a very long time. And I think in many ways, the country has become addicted to CBI. It is quite clear to me, and I think to others who are observing, that the CBI has come under tremendous international pressure. I'm not going to debate whether that's fair or unfair. It's simply what it is. And as a consequence, I expect fully that that goose that has been laying the golden egg is going to get a lot thinner, a lot slimmer, and that those eggs are not going to be as golden as they used to be. So I have been advocating for opportunities, innovation, that we get to a point where we have, of course, other options to fuel our economy. You mentioned cannabis. That's one of the things that I've said, listen, let's get on with it. And this notion of a special sustainability zone was one innovation.
Yeah, Premier,
yes.
I know the bill was tabled to the House from the federal government, right?
Yes.
So those are the one who came up with the idea of the bill.
I don't know, but I don't know who came up with. I don't know who came up with the idea.
Well,
I don't know.
The reason why I'm asking, which means Dr. Joe have the same idea with you, basically, and the U.S. Minister of Syncit, because it's everybody realizes the CBI public are within a situation, so which is the perfect idea that both. Well, I guess that coincidental, everybody had the same idea. So,
well, it's not.
Since the federal government came up with the bill, that's what I'm wondering. It come out perfectly with your alignment when I was saying the federal government is going. So they see the same way the CBI is going into dropping, not making the same amount of money. So I'm asking if they had the same idea, or you both had the same idea, or the idea was discussed.
So who had the idea? Who didn't have the idea? I can't say to that. It's a
But
national
the federal
bill.
government. I mean, if the federal government, since they may who tabled the bill and bring the bill to Parliament. Because the bill, I'm not sure if the same bill could have have in Nevis. I'm not sure. Could the same bill have done in Nevis? So that's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to understand what is done in Syncits.
Okay. So the national parliament the bill was presented in the national parliament because obviously this is a national effort. So what the bill seeks to do is to create a framework to allow these zones to be created on Syncits and on Nevis. So Nevis couldn't do that because we couldn't pass legislation in Nevis that would allow a zone to be created in Syncit. So this legislation allows that zone to be created on either island, and that is why it was done there. The legislation had my support on the first reading. It was presented by the Prime Minister. And on the second reading, it had the support certainly from myself, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, and then on the government side, it had the support of the Honorable Jeffrey Hanley, the Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, and if I recall correctly, the Honorable Congress Maynard. I could be corrected on the last one, but I'm certain about the previous ones that I mentioned. And then, of course, the wrap-up was done by the Prime Minister. Looking at the bill itself, gentlemen, I don't see that the bill is particularly controversial or difficult. There's really nothing about the bill that I see.
Premier, you realize you still really answer the question. I'm trying to over if the bill could have passed in Nevis, or since the Prime Minister and his cabinet came up with the bill, right? Because I want everyone to listen and understand the bill and appreciate what the bill is intended for. So I want to have a clarity breakdown because I myself trying to understand these things too. So it's just a general question I'm asking. Since Syncit passed the bill into Parliament, our company, because David who tabled the bill, I don't know how long this bill come to take into fruition before each Parliament to draft it. You're the legal mind, so I want to give me an idea. Well, you draft bill before, so but this particular one, which is I said to be a massive bill, but if since Syncit's come up with the idea, when if you and Dr. Joe basically say we also the CBI going into a serious situation where we're losing funding and the U.S., the United States, and everyone is watching the EU. So which means if there was between you consultation between both Syncit, Nevis, and NIA, or Dr. just came up with the bill by himself, but which you supported the bill, or if you wanted to support the same thing, or you could have passed the bill in Nevis, and it is done like that. Or I just wondered if there was some kind of collaboration about the bill.
You're taking me all around the place. So let me try to kind of get direct. Yes, a bill could have been passed in Nevis, all right?
Yes.
But there's certain provisions that these zones may have, like issues in relation to taxes and the like within the zone.
Okay.
That I believe that is why the Attorney General took the decision that the bill be passed in the national parliament, because there is a need for the national government to be engaged.
Okay. So,
did the NIA have sight of the bill? We did not draft the bill, but we had sight of the bill because, of course, there were provisions in there that impacted Nevis. And the question of how a zone could be created in Nevis. So that bill would have come in draft to our legal advisor in Nevis on that issue, because the provisions that impacted Nevis, obviously, we would have liked to have seen.
So you froze, Yason?
No,
the Premier froze?
I think it's the Premier. I think it's on his end.
The necessary protection that we need. I'm sorry, are we back?
Yes, you got
we're back.
frozen
We're
for
good. Yes, you have frozen a little bit. Yes. Perfect.
So we were satisfied that the necessary safeguards were there and that control of lands in Nevis would remain firmly with the NIA. And it is on that basis that we said, fine, we had no objections to this bill.
So my good people, you saw how easy the lies came full circle. 1 minute, the AG don't know about a lot of things. The Premier don't know who formulated the bill, who ideas was, but the lies keep coming, they keep coming. So as we peel back on the onion, we are finding the rotten areas. So Queen this and that. If you as a citizen of Nevis don't have concerns about this, something really is wrong with your head. But there was another bomb blast at the town hall, you know, because Brother Troy Liebert let us know that they don't have a clue who these people are that is supposed to be coming into our zones. But when I reflect on the conversation while Mark was speaking a while ago, Premier Brantley was speaking, some time ago on his podcast, I heard him speaking at his podcast or his press conference, was speaking about the population of Nevis need to be grown, you know, that they didn't have enough people in Nevis. So all of this time, I think you know what he was talking about. This thing was in gear. So I don't know why all of the lies. Come straight and talk to the people. So let's take a listen to Troy.
First of all, we do not know the full background of all of the persons who are the developers. These developers, of course, they were not born and bred here in Nevis, so we're not going to know the full background.
So Troy Liebert, who is a member of the NIA Parliament, have informed us that they do not know the background of the developers or all of the developers in this matter. So would you allow someone to come into your house to take up residence, not knowing their background, who they are, where they're coming from? Are these people serious about what they're telling us? The good people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Well, I'm sure by now you guys would realize we're at the bottom of the hour, so I'm going to be dropping out shortly. But let's take a quick run back across to the federal parliament and let's listen to our current Prime Minister lying his ass off to the people about this prison project.
Further, on August 18, 2023, St. Kitts and Nevis CBI officials, led by Attorney General, met with UK Home Office about our new CBI regulations and practices. On October 26, 2023, our same team of officials met with US Treasury Department in Florida, along with officials from Caribbean CBI states, to discuss progress on US Caribbean Roundtable 6 agreed principles, Madam Speaker. On January 25, 2024, the team met with EU visa officials in Dominica to update them on new regulations and current practices. Madam Speaker, we have maintained constant dialogue and engagement with our international partners. However, we knew that the prison project had contributed to over 20,000 new citizenships being granted in a short period of time, Madam Speaker. This is the travesty. The travesty in all of this, Madam Speaker. 20,000, Madam Speaker, citizenships, over 20,000 to 25,000 new citizenships being granted in a short period of time. Madam Speaker, let's pause for a moment on that. How can anyone grant 20,000 25,000 citizenships for a prison. 25,000 based on the new census, and the Minister of Sustainability is here, Senator Honorable Dr. Joya Clark, that we are about 53,000 residents here in St. Kitts and Nevis, both citizens and residents. 53,000, Madam Speaker. And for a prison, you give up to 25,000 new citizenships. Madam Speaker, this is a travesty. It is borderline treason. On a prison project, you have granted citizenships to up to 25,000 citizens, half of your population. Madam Speaker, if any percentage of those persons were to come here, what will happen to St. Kitts and Nevis? But nobody was thinking about St. Kitts and Nevis. People were thinking about themselves, Madam Speaker. Putting self above nation. This is a travesty. And I want history to record that I inform the people of this. Our children must know this. Our grandchildren must also know this. This cannot be hidden from the people. This is a travesty, Madam Speaker. Any leader who grants 25, 50% of your population in citizenship by investment over prison, any leader who does that, Madam Speaker, should never be able to face the people again. Madam Speaker, this hurts badly, you know. Each time I watch the number, I call the AG. AG, is this real? Is this number real? 25,000 over a prison project? In such a short period of time, committing the country to this? Committing the government to this? Madam Speaker, every citizen should be outraged by this. This was totally unnecessary. Our country should not have been subjected to this risk, Madam Speaker, with this high number of citizenships over prison.
Yes, my good people, that is the hypocrisy of this Prime Minister. You listen to the Prime Minister, everything he said in that is true. I support him. He should never come to face the people again about re-elections. Because after his campaign vigorously about shutting down that project, it is alleged that he's the one that signed off and the majority of those passports are those CORs. And I'm going to drop another clip here to confirm it, you know. Because we had a team of people in St. Kitts, some investors, under the name of MSR Media, aka Philip Martinez, with this movie company that started off in Nevis some time ago. And while the Prime Minister is talking about the 50% sale of the CBI for the entire Federation of St. Kitts Nevis, 53,000. This same Prime Minister is supporting a 10,000 new CBI residents on Nevis of a population of 13,000, you know. So you tell me if that is not a bigger risk on Nevis when you're going to put 10,000 foreigners amongst 13,000 Nevisian, and those foreigners, you know who they are. I migrate to the Virgin Islands, British, US, to the New York area, and I travel the entire US and part of the UK. I don't object to people coming into our beloved federation. It's nice. It's a good place to come. But do it the right way. Stop lying to the people. Stop misleading the people. The corruption in this country is at a level of nuclear. It is at nuclear level. It's only a matter of time. We're going to have some serious issue in this federation if we don't put a stop to this government, or these politicians, or these bad actors, or whatever you want to call them. because the Prime Minister was part of the team. He was the leader of the Labour Party back then when we campaigned about the underselling. Premier Brantley, after Timothy Fire 6 came out and acknowledged the underselling of passport. Sean Richards also went up to the prison and did a live broadcast from there, talking about the prison. The DJ been on these topics for months. You could say years. And these political parties or these pundits are potential candidates. You all see what they do? One thing I could agree with Mark Brantley about. They're lazy. They don't want to do the groundwork. They don't want to do the footwork. They're not going to want to come on the street and march with the DJ because they're lazy. They want to sit in the slips and wait for a catch. So if something is hot in the media, something is hot in our community, they jump on it. I hear some of them calling press conference. Some calling town halls to talk about SSZ. What happened to all this other stuff that's been going on? SSZ might be the hot topic at the moment, but what happened to everything else that the DJ been campaigning on for the past years? I listen to the leader of PAM. I listen to the leader of the PLP. I listen to the leader of the NRP. And they are speaking whatever they have to say to gain support for their political parties. I have no problem with that. But the reality of the day is this, none of us political parties, our coalition, going to form the next government in St. Kitts Nevis and our own. It's going to take a coalition. So you all better wake up. Wake up, get up off your lazy backside, and be honest with the people. You all can't just dress up in your nice jacket and tie and go into a ballroom or a boardroom and chat your all shit on social media and think that is enough to change government. It is not going to happen. Get all your lazy backside, put on your sneakers or your joggers or your flappers, and bring all your lazy ass on the street if you all want to make a difference. This is the DJ talking, straight and plain. Because according to this corrupt, these bad actors, the DJ is walking on the street by himself. So nobody care about what the DJ is saying. Like I said, my presence is online. I am trying to reach the people overseas who do not know what's happening here on the ground. That's why I do this podcast. That's why I carry my match live. The people on the ground know what's going on. But you, political parties, I'm calling you all out by names. The NRP, the PLP, the People's Action Movement, PAM, get up off all your lazy backsides. If you all don't want to join the DJ on the street, organize your all own march. But you all need to have some political action. Talking on radio and social media is not going to cut it. Get up off all your lazy backsides and hit the streets. That's what you all need to do. Collaborate. That way, you can be successful. And wherever you all set up your all march, I will be there. I'll be happy to cover it. I'll be happy to carry it live. But get up off all your lazy backside. Otherwise, we're going to end up with the same failed political party running the country for a second term. And that is something I'm not happy to live with. I'm not prepared to live with. And I want to live. So this is my message to you all. Let's listen to the Prime Minister who denied that there was underselling, even though he knew. Now, using the hard work of MSR Media, Mr. Philip Martinez material that he provided to the courts, 185 files of the underselling. They are now collecting monies. Again, that's going to cause a problem for them. Because the government was not in the business of marketing these passports. There was agents. The agents was there to collect money and pay it to the government, not the government collecting money from these potential candidates. So let's take a listen.
Individuals and families who access St. Kitts and Nevis citizenship under the controversial Galaxy-promoted prison project started under a previous government administration are still being allowed to bring their citizenship to legal status by paying the required amounts under the current government led by Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew. Questioned on the matter during his most recent roundtable with the news media, Prime Minister Drew said he didn't have the statistical information, but the process was still continuing, inclusive of due diligence procedures.
And the Galaxy don't have the numbers with me, but people continue to pay because if your due diligence is clean, and we backcheck a lot of the due diligence, our next thing is to make sure that you pay the amount. You haven't paid the amount to maintain your citizenship. You have to make sure you are given the opportunity to correct that wrong as an individual, as a family. If you don't correct it, then you lose it. Simple as that. And to say to those who are now coming, please follow the law. That is all we're saying, unless you were advised otherwise. But the advice will always be to follow the law. So that is where we are with the Galaxy matter, and we continue to. And anybody who has any evidence that anybody would have violated our CBI laws, as in any other law in St. Kitts and Nevis, that we would take the necessary actions to take.
The prison project.
So, my good people, the amount of lies that this Prime Minister tells and have told cannot fit in 1840. But they got people over there that commit petty crimes, locked down in 1840, while these fake bad actors we have in Parliament continue to do wrong by the people against the country, and they are allowed to continue in office to do more and more. My good people, the DJ has an issue with that. So when you all want to come and attack the DJ, I want to let Shimanta Erasmus Douglas know. Hear me again. Shimanta Erasmus Douglas, let her know that this DJ will march by himself to bring awareness to our beloved country, the citizens at home and abroad. That's what the DJ is doing, an awareness march. I don't care whether I'm by myself or people comes out. The political action continues. Let's take a listen.
Let's unite.
Citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis, it's your time! Boots on the streets are required! Let's save our country! Get your placards ready! Friday, 21st November, gathering at the West Bus Ferry Terminal on the Bay Road at 3:30. March starts from 4 until 6. For more information, call 660-0195 or email grantavenuedjm@gmail.com. So, on Friday, 21st November, meet up at the West Bus Ferry Terminal from 3:30, marching from 4, and be a part of the Citizens Empowerment Coalition Awareness March.
Citizens,
So I gotta send this tribute to Queen this and that, because I am of the view that the Queen does not know the lyrics in this song. Someone had to pen the lyrics to this song for the Queen this and that. But let's take a listen to the Queen this and that singing The White Man's Wish.
To my black brothers, right across the universe, this message is for you.
Mr. Farrakhan bring 1 million people together. But here in my land, we can't get 2 people to agree. Simply because we keep fighting against each other. Or maybe because we prefer the rivalry. The white men sticking with one another. Indians fighting for their own. But when it comes to my dear black brother, he own race he cannot condone. It's like we free but still ain't free from the dark days of slavery. Or maybe we're still suffering mentally. Cause a little thing like uniting is taking us so long to accomplish. It's like we still carrying out the white man's wish. And what they wish, black man would fight each other and stifle their own progress, while they keep climbing the ladder on the high road to success. They did that down in South Africa, and for years blacks didn't exist. We can't let that happen in Little Nevis. Look, I beg you, come let we unite. Come let we stop fight, and then we go get we equal rights. Brother, only then we go get we equal rights.
Come on, Queen. Remember this one? Queen this and that. White man's way.
The white man know that black people don't pull together. So he does go and add fuel to the flame. He hire one to keep an eye on the other. If something go wrong, it's the 2 of them he does blame. The same old trick they did with forefathers is the same old trick they're doing us now. Organize all kind of encounters, then blame black people for the wrong. Black people, open your eyes. The time has come for us to rise. Our strength lies in unity, you must realize. If we continue to fight over greed and selfishness, it's like we still carrying out the white man's wish. And what they wish, black man would fight each other and stifle their own progress, while they keep climbing the ladder on the high road to success. They did that down there in Nigeria, and for years blacks didn't exist. We can't let that happen in Little Nevis. Look, I beg you, come let we unite. Come let we stop fight, and then we go get we equal rights. Brother, only then we go get we equal rights.
Keep up with. Keep up with your best. Queen this and that.
White supremacy could quite easily be demolished if we only stand up and fight as one. You'll be amazed at the kind of things we'll accomplish. On the world stage, we'll take a right position. The white man know that long time, brother. Once we unite, they cannot rule. But divided they would rule and conquer, and use black people like a tool. They did that in Uganda, Morocco and in Kenya, and then turn around and call it tribal war. Shamefully, I must agree that right here in my Nevis, it's like we still carrying out the white man's wish. And what I wish, black man would fight each other and stifle their own progress, while they keep climbing the ladder on the high road to success. They did that down in South Africa, and for years blacks didn't exist. We can't let that happen in Little Nevis. Look, I beg you, come let we unite. Come let we stop fight, and then we go get we equal rights. Brother, only then we go get we equal rights.
Yes, Queen, this
Serious
and that.
message to my black brothers and sisters. It is time to unite. Cause only unity. Done?
Yes, Queen, this and that. You and your man selling out the black people in St. Kitts Nevis. So I want you to listen to that track. And I'm going to drop another track for you too, you know. The legal system. I'm pretty sure you didn't write these songs. The way you're acting, Queen, you could not have written these songs. You could not have penned these songs. I want to believe it's Ginger penned this one.
The king has come to address the situation, the legal situation. From year to year when they talk about me native land, I used to raise my hands in the air as a proud division. But nowadays I shame like a dog and water in me eye when I see what they try to do to us on 11th July. The devil down in hell, he and all cry. Would you have imagined in this 21st century our very own black brother try to disenfranchise we, and the Prime Minister of this nation was heard on the radio station to say it a walk. Oh, what a shock. And the Premier of my island stand up there clapping like a dum-dum. Oh, what a mock. Dicka-wee duck. They brag and boast they gave me a doggy, but I gave them a Mark and a Mendez and jam them against the wall. The High Court says the evidence is clear. This thing is not fair, and justice must be served in this land. They passed the legislation, and it's in the Constitution. The right to vote is given to every man. So when you take off the names, who you think we should blame? But the ones who orchestrated this coup. Petty thieves gone to jail, the legal system prevailed. So what you think we should do with them too? Name them and shame them, burn to death. Benji for robbing the visions of democracy. Let's not forget the little Chinese. The legal system must work for all three. Jail them from me. Justice must be served. Democracy must be preserved. One man, one vote. Liberty was clearly being hijacked. Freedom and democracy, my friends, was under attack. The ones in authority decide to grab power at all costs. They didn't care about the country once they get their hands on the purse. Their sense of decency, they all lost. This peaceful paradise, known for its natural beauty, was greatly compromised. For power and money, we had to go to court to correct this problem, since the ones in charge is who caused them. Oh, what a thing. The king had to sing. They took an oath to protect this country, its heirs and successors truly. Oh, what a lie. They tell you and I. Then they're hiring all kind of retiree and firing young people like like crazy, but soon we shall bring an end to that mockery. You see, the evidence is clear. This thing is not fair, and justice must be served in this here land. They passed the legislation, and it's in the constitution. The right to vote is given to every man. So when they take off the names, who you think we should blame? But the ones who orchestrated this coup. Petty thieves gone to jail, the legal system prevailed. So what you think we should do with them too? Name them and shame them, burn to death. Benji for robbing Nivision's their democracy. Let's not forget the little Chinese. The legal system must work for all three. Jail them from me. Justice must be served. Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi, Mubarak and Adolf Hitler had one thing in common, they were all fighting for power. And when the people say enough is enough, they don't want them to lead no more. They decide to harass and oppress and suppress the very poor. That dictatorship attitude is now at the door. They blame the IMF for their failures and mischief. Oh, what hypocrisy. In my little country, they're taxing and taxing the people like they want us to work miracle. Lord have mercy on poor you and me. So many advisors on the payroll, yet we sinking in a hole. These fellas are lost, but we paid the cost. But a ray of hope is on the horizon. Pride and joy we shall restore, and the culprits must face the legal system for sure. The evidence is clear, this thing is not fair, and justice must be served in this here land. They passed the legislation, and it's in the constitution. The right to vote is given to every man. So when they take off the names, who you think we should blame? But the ones who orchestrated this coup. Petty thieves gone to jail, the legal system prevailed. So what you think we should do with them too? Name them and shame them, burn to death. Benji for robbing divisions of democracy. Let's not forget the little Chinese. The legal system must work for all three. Jail them from me. The High Court says the election was flawed, null and void. I believe in the legal system. Let's hope it works for those three culprits. Jail them. Jail them.
Yes, that's the sound of the Queen this and that under different administration.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're listening to DJ Marisha playing you the best in Caribbean music.
You got that.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're locked into DJ Marisha. Keep it locked.
Right there. My good people, as we come to the close of yet another successful broadcast, let's take a quick listen to my girl, Sister Carmen of Carmen Caterers, and hear what Carmen have for us.
Girl Sandra, you know where you can find nice fresh local food 7 days a week, wrong provision and all kind of thing. Girl, where? Right down there by Shellings, by Carmen Catering Services. Girl, she opposite the bus stop. Girl, and she also cater for weddings, parties, anything you want to cater for, funeral and all. Girl, and trust me, you're gonna enjoy the food. And she also selling bites and sundaes. Opposite the car shop, right down the main road. Girl, you could call 665-1494 or 663-6005 to order your food or go and pick up your food. Girl, the food will be finger licking and you get your money worth. You ain't want nothing better than that.
Yes, you heard that Sister Carmen is there at Shirley in downtown Bastille, right opposite the West Ferry Terminal there, Monday to Saturday from midday until 5. And a Sunday, you catch her on the bus stop there in Boyd's, right opposite the Agaro shop from midday until 5. When you see Sister Carmen, let's let her know DJ Marisha send you. Let's take a quick run across the narrows and see what Boyd Carbo has to say.
Cabos, located at Fountain Village in Nevis, is the go-to spot for your Saturday treats. Tantalize your taste buds with his delectable Cabos Delicacy Goat Water. Or, if you prefer some soul food, then Cabos Punji and Fish is definitely the way to go. Call ahead and reserve at 869-663-9694. Then make your way over to Cabos and enjoy the vibrant atmosphere while you savor your delicacy. Cabos, we are not changing, we are only improving.
Yes, that's the boy Carbo there, of course, in Nevis. My good people, it's been a while I haven't checked my boy there, brother Guijo's Station Street Old Road. I have to go and check him out on the weekend, see how he's doing. Also want to big up my boy Cooper there at Gibbon Sale there. Love the place to have a meal as well. So when you get there, tell brother Cooper, DJ Marisha sent you. I want to say a special good evening to the good folks there at Island Purified Water, Main Street, Newton Ground, St. Kitts. I want to thank my boy, brother Powell and his team, the man Scatter, for keeping the DJ hydrated when he's in our beloved Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And as I always say, continue to support businesses that support you. My good people, it is a call to service. Next Friday, 21st November, as we...
Let's unite. Citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis, it's your time. Boots on the streets are required. Let's save our country. Get your placards ready. Friday, 21st November, gathering at the West Bus Ferry Terminal on the Bay Road at 3:30. March starts from 4 until 6. For more information, call 660-0195 or email grantavenuedjm@gmail.com. So, on Friday 21st November, meet up at the West Bus Ferry Terminal from 3:30, marching from 4, and be a part of the Citizens Empowerment Coalition Awareness March. Citizens,
Yes, my good people, and it's that time that I take you straight into my closing track. This one is the unofficial anthem of St. Kitts Nevis. This one is called Arise by the late great the King Arrow. R.I.P. I want to big up the Arrow family. The man Sebastian Williams there in the Connecticut area. How about Sister Lauren?
unification, building a brand new nation. We move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours. Can your conscience be clear? Indulging corruption or misusing public office, being accused of unemployment and crimes, or disrupting a citizen's peace. Oh, my country in this harmony, separated politically. Hatred for a brother, cannot love each other. No, I say no, not at all. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct all mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We'll move on together hand in hand. So rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Yes, my good people, as we come to the close of yet another successful podcast, we celebrated our 5th anniversary last Saturday, the 8th of November. As we work on a 6th year, we try our best to bring you the best of information that we can. You know, we're going to hold the foot to the fire no matter how they fire back, we're going to be holding their feet to the fire.